What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I'm going to have more of a relaxed approach on this video because I just want to give my thoughts and take on a situation that's transpired and completely blew me away. If you're not caught up with following me on Twitter or seeing what's going on with this whole Sweet Baby Inc. saga, I'm going to give you a quick overview recap of that and how this situation has completely devolved into exposing all these game journals out there and their interconnectivity behind the scenes. I've made a few videos on Sweet Baby Inc. talking about the situation and remaining focused on the actual problem involved with it. And that always was and still is the employees at Sweet Baby Inc. that were making some very rude tweets, obnoxious tweets, aggressive tweets, tweets that aren't normal. And I would say, for the most part, the type of tweets that have not been socially accepted in society. And it's fine. Like I've said before, you can say whatever you want. It's a free country. But it's just a little bit strange that they'd say the things they do, multiple employees, by the way, say these things, act this way, and then work at a company that supposedly stands for the opposite. It's just very weird. And this circles back to the original Kotaku article that was written by Alyssa Mercante. And if you don't know who she is, the type of person this quote-unquote journalist is can be only described by the shirt that she's wearing here. Honestly, that's where it begins and ends for me. I followed her on Twitter for a little bit, saw how she was talking to people, said what she was saying about things aren't okay. I didn't agree with them, and I got blocked. I was like, all right, cool. So this is one of those people that it's her way or the highway, and she just doesn't want any kind of pushback in her life on any of this. And all right, I get it. You know, it's Twitter. You can block who you want. I've blocked people before too. It's fine, whatever. But then I see Jeff Grubb, someone who I've followed for a while now and trusted their opinions as an insider in the video game industry. And I see him replying to her in her article, thanking her for it. And I'm like, that's kind of weird because her article is what set off this entire firestorm propagating into what some people are now calling Gamergate 2. And on the surface, saying thank you to someone writing an article is fine. You know, it pushes the agenda. You agree with them. I've done it before too. But the problem with Alyssa Mercante's take, her journalistic integrity at stake here that she clearly cares nothing for, she made this article on Kotaku talking about how the gamers are the problem, the people to blame, the issue here, and how Gamergate 2 is being caused by other people. In that article, she mentions nothing about how Sweet Baby Inc. employees were making racist tweets, wrongful tweets, aggressive tweets, canceled tweets, all these horrible things that the employees at Sweet Baby Inc. were saying. She just, I don't know, left out of her article. Maybe she forgot that was like the most important part about all of it. She completely glazed over it. Actually, she didn't even glaze over it. She just didn't even mention it. She didn't even talk about it. It didn't even come up in her article. Her whole article was centered about how Sweet Baby Inc. was the victim. And she was attempting to paint them as the victim for everyone else to see so that they'd get some sympathy points and the community would feel bad for Sweet Baby Inc. And when that didn't work, they went on the offense. So then we find ourselves at a point where all these game journalists behind the scenes have these interconnected webs with each other, and they start standing up for each other, protecting them like they're one of their own. And instead of looking for the truth, instead of having the integrity to stand up and say, whoa, what they said in that article is not factually correct. It places the blame on the wrong party because it doesn't paint the full picture of what actually transpired. And maybe that's what's held me back all these years, is I don't conform to the lies and just to buddy-buddy with these people in the back. I search for the truth. That's all I care about. I feel like that's all that's important when it comes to this kind of stuff. And if you're going to stand for something other than that, I want no part of it. And this frustrated me to the point of not being a dick, but just calling it like I see it, which I guess some people could say is being a dick, but it's just saying, hey, I take issue with the situation here. I want to let you know about it, and here's why. And I made a tweet stating, never meet your heroes, kids. with a screenshot of Jeff Grubb saying thank you to Alyssa Mercante for her horrific article that set off this firestorm in the first place. And what happens? Jeff Grubb blocks me. Like, someone who I've followed for a while, have talked about multiple times on this channel about their information in the game industry. They blocked me because they didn't like me pointing out that they were standing up for someone who was in the wrong. And then I see other employees from Giant Bomb, Hassan, saying it's the gamer's fault here. And then I go to GameIndustry.biz on Twitter and see they posted an article from Take This, the very same Take This that is a government-funded sham that I talked about in my previous video. I linked my previous video there saying, here's the full story because this is just talking about TakeThis.org. You're not talking about how they're getting funded and why they have the approach that they do. These companies only want people to see things from their angle. They've completely removed the unbiased approach to all of it and want you to see things their way. And it's just sad at the end of the day that you can't have a conversation anymore. You can't say, here's the other side to a situation that I saw and I'd like to inform people of. No, that's not allowed. And if you try to present that to other people, they'll block you because they don't want their narrative to change, even if their narrative is missing some key points throughout it. It's just sad when people that you look up to in the industry and people you've followed for a long time, when you try to give them any kind of pushback on any kind of issue, you are automatically in the wrong and get blocked and cut out and you're not in the club anymore. It's weird, the dynamic that's been created from all these upper echelon media types that have made it in the game industry and how they've all connected behind the scenes. And it's almost like this coordinated effort to not let the truth get out there. And if anything, the Sweet Baby Inc. situation has exposed everyone for what side they're on. So no, I wouldn't say it's Gamergate 2. I would say this situation is completely exposing if you want to be a good journalist and give all the information to your readers, or if you side with Kotaku and the others that have an agenda that they want to push forward. Unfortunately, from what I've seen, I've yet to see a large publication take the side of the full story with Sweet Baby Inc. Everyone's either remained silent or been on the side of Kotaku. And that should tell you everything you need to know. Anyways, I'm going to leave it there. If you want more information on Jeff Grubb's self-destruction, Kotaku and their ridiculousness, and all the other information that I referenced in the resources, I will link this in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing. Smash, Smash,